Nothing. Retired parents, nobody. My daughter was in school. Obviously, she couldn't come. That was a lot of guys crying. Yeah, there was a lot of guys crying past on this past Sunday. So my point is this, that they shut down and they withdraw, and then they can't support anybody else in anything that makes them uncomfortable. Yeah, you said it wouldn't have mattered because by that time I was a PFC in the reserves and we was on our way to Desert Storm. My unit got activated. I was so past them sure at that point they wasn't showing up to shit. So it was just more of the same. But it's what's coming up for me is now I know why they weren't there. I thought it was because I was doing something wrong. And now I just know that was on them. It didn't have nothing to do with me. So that's what they do. So demeaning others is the next thing. That's a sign and symptom. So to overcompensate for your feelings of your own feelings of inefficiencies, you become overly competitive or overly critical of others. And so that's has been my experience. They either become my Uncle Jerry becoming overly critical, my grandfather when I didn't bring home a 2.5 for my freshman first 2 quarters at Michigan State, or they become very competitive, like my sister. So my sister has been competing with me my entire life, and I didn't know why. And I'm like, why is it a competition? Everything is a competition. And my mother has co-signed for the majority of that. And so what happens is when you have inferiority complex, you either are always trying to make somebody feel bad or you're dismissive. So that ain't shit. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. And so if you keep hearing it, what happened for me is I just didn't tell people about my accomplishments anymore. I was just like, why the fuck I'm gonna keep saying something where y'all either gonna tell me it's not good enough or it ain't shit. Right. And they still don't. Because at first you could say, well, my mother was a single parent trying to make ends meet. But literally, we were all here in Las Vegas and I still been kicking ass and taking names. And they ain't saying shit. My sister was in a movie as an extra and it was celebrated. I have an IMDb. I actually turned thank you, Antonio Fargas. I spent the role that I was only supposed to have 5 lines in to I'm on the doggone poster of the movie and got people got YouTube videos of me. I was Dana. I was a bad person. I was a human trafficker. Anyway, if you want to see that video link, I can send that to you as well. But I was bad. I got disintegrated at the end. This is a B-list, sci-fi movie. But I was in a movie. I was in Born 5. I have a was on episode of Brain Games. I had a commercial, an energy commercial, all in Las Vegas, 0% support. So it continued. It didn't stop. It literally, I got letters from the governor and congressional people from when I won my business awards. Nothing, literally nothing at all. So again, yes, Dana. This is a trafficker. Yes, and people was like, and I got to do a lot of improvising. So yeah, and I told Nola I killed a grandmother and her grandson, and she never saw the footage. And when she saw it, she was like, "You killed a little boy and his grandmother." It's like it was acting. It was acting. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, I would never do something like that in real life. It was acting before somebody tried to report me. It was in a movie. It's called Pass Through Film. Neil Breen's Pass Through Film, and so I was dabbling in acting, and yeah. So the point is that everything that I did, it ain't shit until you could use that information to go brag to somebody else. So if I did something that was braggable so they could go make somebody else feel bad, then they made everybody else feel bad. But at no point did I ever get you the baddest motherfucker in the family. Not one time. Not one time. And the more I accomplished, the harder it became for them to absorb everything that was taking place. When I came back, be ready to give people jobs and full length fur coats and diamonds and all of that, and it wasn't ill gotten gains, and nothing I had was good enough. Nothing at that. So to the point where when I was in the military, when I first came back from Korea, I had a 1 bedroom apartment. When you first start out, you ain't got the shit you're supposed to have. So I finessed all of that, and by the time I got promoted to captain, I lived in a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom condo. And when my parents came to pin me to get promoted, the first thing that my mother said when she walked in the house was, "She got a bigger house than us. We got to move." Not as nice, not as clean. How'd you do it? That was the first words out of her mouth. Yeah. So, and we're namesake. I was Donna Thomas Jr. So again, demeaning others. It ain't never ever. And they used to take credit for everything that my daughter did as if she 8 years old doing it on her own. So it was an interesting time. But hey, they got it. I don't have it. The last thing is avoiding